Starlight Keep HFY presents Earth 101, How Not to Die on the Blue Marble. Chapter 4, Humans as Predators. The ambient light in the Eldritch Library shifted as Seraphine Moonshadow waved her hand over the control orb, the holographic display transitioning to a serene image of humans jogging through a dense forest. Sunlight filtered through the canopy, casting dappled shadows on the leaf-strewn path where a group of humans moved with steady, determined strides. "Now," Seraphine began, her voice slicing through the soft murmurs of the class, "let's discuss why humans themselves are considered apex predators on their home planet." A green-scaled Carillion in the back raised one of his 4 hands hesitantly. "Ambassador Moonshadow," he interjected, his crystalline eyes reflecting shades of emerald and doubt. "How can they be predators if they're so squishy?" Scattered chuckles echoed, and a few students nodded in agreement. Seraphine suppressed a smile. "An astute observation, Zelix," she replied. "Humans are indeed soft-bodied compared to many species. No exoskeleton, no venom, limited natural weaponry, and yet they are relentless hunters." She gestured gracefully, and the holographic image shifted to a montage of humans trekking across various terrains, deserts, tundras, mountains, all with the same unwavering pace. "They possess an extraordinary endurance," Seraphine continued. "Humans can traverse vast distances without rest, a trait developed through a survival strategy known as persistence hunting." The Ayako student, Hughes swirling with curiosity, leaned forward. "Persistence hunting? Could you elaborate?" "Certainly," Seraphine said. "Humans track their prey over long distances, utilizing their stamina and the ability to regulate body temperature through perspiration. They exhaust their targets, who eventually succumb to fatigue or overheating." The Carillion frowned, his brow ridges knitting together. "But why? Wouldn't it be more efficient to use traps or ambush tactics?" "One would think," Seraphine agreed. "But early humans lacked the speed and strength to overpower many of their prey head-on. Instead, they relied on endurance and intelligence, traits that have become hallmarks of their species." A hush fell over the room as the implications sank in. The avian students ruffled their feathers uneasily, and the Solthane dimmed their glows to a contemplative hue. "Imagine," Seraphine said softly, "being a creature pursued relentlessly, mile after mile, by a predator that simply does not give up. Rest is not an option. Hiding is temporary relief at best. It's a battle of attrition, and humans are remarkably patient." A tentacle shot up from the middle row. "But, Ambassador," asked Kotian, the Quillin's skin pulsating with subdued light, "surely this required cooperation." "Excellent point," Seraphine acknowledged. "Humans are inherently social beings. They coordinate in groups, communicate effectively, and share knowledge across generations. This collective effort amplifies their capabilities." She advanced the hologram to show humans working together to construct complex tools and weapons, bows, spears, later evolving into more sophisticated technology. "Through cooperation," she continued, "they have transcended their physical limitations. Their ingenuity allows them to adapt and manipulate their environment in unprecedented ways." Zarkon, the Draven skeptic, crossed his arms thoughtfully. "So, their strength lies not in individual prowess, but in unity and adaptability?" "Precisely," Seraphine said, pleased to see him engaging. "And this extends beyond hunting. In warfare, for example, their endurance enables them to outlast stronger but less persistent adversaries. They strategize, adapt, and are willing to endure hardships to achieve their objectives." The Ayako's colors shifted to a contemplative teal. "Is that how they expanded across their planet?" "Indeed," Seraphine confirmed. "They've settled in nearly every corner of Earth, from scorching deserts to frozen tundras. Their bodies adjust over time, through both biological adaptation and technological innovation." A Solthane student raised her delicate hand, her luminescent skin shimmering softly. Ambassador, are there examples of this endurance in modern times? Seraphine smiled. There are many. Consider the marathon, a long-distance race spanning 26.2 miles, a tradition rooted in their history, or the phenomenon of ultramarathons, where participants run distances exceeding 100 miles, often in extreme conditions. Gasps of disbelief rippled through the hall. Voluntarily? An avian squawked, her wings fluttering in astonishment. Yes, voluntarily, Seraphine affirmed, amusement tinged her tone. They view it as a test of personal limits, a challenge to overcome. Zelix shook his head, the crystals embedded in his skin catching the light. But to what end? Glory? Recognition? For some, perhaps, Seraphine allowed. But often it's a deeply personal endeavor, a quest for self-improvement, discipline, and resilience. She paused, letting the weight of her words settle. These traits, endurance, intelligence, cooperation, have enabled humans to not only survive but to thrive in environments that would be inhospitable to most species. A soft chiming signaled a new holographic display. A team of humans scaling a formidable mountain peak, roped together, faces etched with determination. They tackled challenges collectively, Seraphine noted, relying on one another for support, sharing resources, and combining their skills. Quillen's tentacles swayed pensively. Perhaps their squishiness, he mused, eliciting a few chuckles, drives them to compensate through other means. An interesting perspective, Seraphine acknowledged. Their vulnerabilities may indeed fuel their resourcefulness and innovation. Zarkon leaned back, a hint of grudging respect in his expression. So it's their minds that make them dangerous. And their hearts, Seraphine added gently. Their capacity for empathy and connection strengthens their societies, enabling them to mobilize on scales rarely seen elsewhere. The avian student tilted her head. But doesn't such strong social bonding lead to conflicts with other groups? It can, Seraphine admitted. Humans are complex. They are capable of great compassion and, unfortunately, great conflict. Understanding this duality is essential. Zelix raised a hand again. Ambassador, how should we approach interactions with humans, given these traits? With respect and openness, Seraphine advised. Acknowledge their strengths, be mindful of their vulnerabilities, and find common ground through shared experiences. She glanced around the room, her gaze thoughtful. Remember, while they may seem paradoxical, they are not so different from us in their desires and aspirations. A serene silence settled over the class. The students appeared contemplative, processing the multifaceted nature of humanity. As the session drew to a close, Seraphine clasped her hands gracefully. For your next assignment, I'd like each of you to find a human story, an example of endurance, innovation, or cooperation that resonates with you. Be prepared to share and discuss how it broadens your understanding. The room buzzed softly as students began to pack up, whispers of curiosity and newfound interest filling the air. Ambassador Moonshadow, Zelix approached tentatively as others filed out. May I ask, do you admire them? Seraphine smiled softly. I admire many species for various reasons. Humans, with all their complexities, remind us that strength comes in many forms. He nodded thoughtfully. Perhaps there's much we can learn from them. Indeed, she agreed, and perhaps they have much to learn from us as well.